Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, October 20th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, RANI, very nice mover today. And now we have ourselves a good quality pattern here. So let's get this mapped out and see if the price can deliver a move through here or not on Monday. Not necessarily Monday, but just in the early next week. So let's get the top part of the pattern drawn into play. We have that area of resistance. And at the same time, we have this area of support. Let me change that to green for support. And then just to make sure we can all see the pattern, let's keep it all one color. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the big upwards move right here. And I mean, you could really extend it down here too if you wanted to. And then for you golfers, to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. And this is what I would call a bull pennant pattern. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because there's a bull pennant or a bull pattern in general does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go up. But is it valid to think that the price consolidates out, comes up here, breaks through there, that break could produce buying pressure? Absolutely. Again, is that guaranteed to happen? No. No guarantees. Is it a valid potential question and outcome? Absolutely. So if you like bull pennant patterns and you like this price range down below $5, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, BYND. Very nice move when you consider where the price was just at the last 30 minutes on Friday, and now where the price has worked its way up. Now, there's still more work that needs to be done, but again, from where it was to where it was, or from where it was to where it is now, can you tell it's Friday? The price has made a good, solid movement, but that does lead to the valid question of, yeah, but is there any sort of genuine power behind this bounce? And I have no idea, but by using this level down here, we can make answering that question very straightforward. And that is right here at 59 cents. And it's just basic logic that price movements that are genuinely bullish and powerful are not going to go straight up because nothing can go straight up. But they're at least going to show signs of progress. And in this situation, the quote-unquote sign of progress, again, right here at 60 cents. Because I'm not saying this is what's going to occur. But if the price were to come down here and then just drop straight down there, what is that doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back to where it started. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make really nice moves to the upside and then all of a sudden go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine power. But on the flip side, if the price comes down here, behaves like this, and then starts to come back upwards, now all of a sudden what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have lows right there. And if you envision each of those as stair-steps, well, now you have stair-steps making progress in the upwards direction. And that's the name of the game. That's what a truly strong move is going to do. It's going to make progress. And again, in this situation, quote-unquote, progress being defined as 60 cents. So let's see if the price can get that job done or not next week. Next one here, XRTX, and we have ourselves a nice pattern here. Although I will say that this last 30 minutes here, things are getting a little bit sketchy. So I do understand if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and maybe you bought right there or some, right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within, just a few minutes. Yes, maybe the chart's looking pretty rough for you. But again, from the overarching standpoint, the overall pattern is holding strong here. So this pattern will look pretty familiar. It's a little bit different, but same general idea. So yes, there's been this pullback here, but part of saying that, yes, it's true, there has been a pullback, which you can see via this downwards channel is, okay, fair enough, Clay, but what was going on before the downwards channel here? And you say, well, the price was here, and then it made a big move all the way up there, which is now giving us a bull flag pattern. Now, bull pennant, bull flag, yeah, there are little differences, but at the end of the day, the psychology is the same. There was a big move up, now there's some consolidation, and now it's just a question of will the price move in the upwards direction. So if you like bull flag patterns, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, ARTV, and we have once again one of these bull patterns. So I'm going to go through this quickly as I want to respect your time as much as possible. And you've already heard me, like I said, talk about this. So we have the resistance, we have the area of support right here. And then again, just to make sure we can all see it. Resistance, support. So yes, there's been this pullback. What was happening before the pullback? Well, this nice upwards move right here. So we have ourselves another bull flag pattern. So if you like bull flags, you like stocks down around that $5, $10 mark, then definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, BITF. We've been tracking this one quite a bit, and the pullback continues. So the first key update comes about based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken. So last time I talked about this, right around $5.10 was the level of support, but you can see price is broken down below it. So therefore, when levels of support are broken and close below, they tend to act as resistance. And again, if I zoom in, that is exactly what happened here. There was the gap down, it bounced, and then it got rejected 2 candles in a row. So moving forward into next week, $5.10 is going to be that initial key level of resistance. If the price can push up through there, next level you'll want to watch is that 50-period moving average, purple line, currently valued at $5.60. As far as areas of support, no need to overcomplicate it. Just really a question of where did the bleeding finally stop today? And the bleeding eventually stopped several times right down here, give or take around $4.75. Now, if the price can hold above there, I'm not saying the price is dropping straight down to that pink line right there, but the chart does open up quite a bit where you could certainly see some more downwards pressure and potentially with the price taken down to that 200-period moving average right now valued at right around 405. But again, to be fair, 475 has been doing a good job of holding the price strong right there. So we'll see if there can be some sort of curl back upwards early next week. Real quick, want to take a break and help you solve a potential very common problem, and that is you want to be a day trader, and I'm defining day trader as being able to make as many day trades as you want every single day, but you can't because of that pattern day trading rule. Well, there is a market out there. There is a way to go about things where very little money is needed, very little money is at risk, yet you can actually become a day trader and make as many trades as you want, not to mention give you access to a market that moves way better than penny stocks and low floats and small caps anyways. But I do understand if this all sounds way too good to be true. What's the catch? Which is why I invite you, come see it with your own eyes. I put my money where my mouth is. It's what I'm doing, and it's what I've been doing on my live stream. So if you want to see, like I said, watch it with your very own eyes, ask me questions, then come by the live stream. Start every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and then I go for a few hours. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you are reminded of when I do go live. Next one here is NVDA, and first dynamic here that needs to be updated is a couple days ago, this was an area of resistance, but the price did get it back above it on Thursday. So at that point, just basic rules when levels of resistance are broken and closed below, you want to see them act as support. And you can see over the past basically day and a half, this level here at 180.50 hasn't been perfect, but actually it's done a very good job of providing support. But now that we have more data, I'm just going to make the adjustment because after all this data we have, it seems as though the more accurate level of support is right down there at 180. I mean, look at that area. Hasn't been perfect, but very close to perfect. Just time after time after time, prices bounce off that area. So if this area, if this price movement does come down, then yeah, you got to think a lot of people will be watching that 180 mark, and certainly an important level because as I talked about in the previous one, if this is a true bounce, then you want to at least see progress. You want to see something like that with the higher low showing progress. What you don't want to see is for the price all of a sudden just continue on down because all of a sudden the price isn't ruined, but it's right back to where that movement started. But as of now, not only has 180 been holding, the price isn't anywhere close to 180. In terms of next levels of resistance, public enemy number 1 next week, all about that pink line right there, valued right now at 185.85. If you go back here, you can see that 200-period moving average has been doing quite a bit of work of behaving as resistance. So if this movement continues, then yeah, that'll definitely be the big battleground for next week. Next one here, RGTI, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched the past videos. But if you have, hopefully you remember me talking about that green line right there as support right at 43.65. And I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Not once, but twice today. Price went down to that level and held very strong. Second time it went down there, very nice bounce up from there. So overall, so far so good in regards to holding above that level. If the price does come back down to 43.65 and can't quite hold above it, then the good news is not that far below. You do have the 200-period moving average right there. Not that that means that the price will for sure bounce off that area, but there does seem to be quite a bit of support that's starting to develop down around that area. But if the bears get extra strong next week, then any support can be broken. But I'd keep an eye on those areas from a support standpoint. If the price does bounce back up, nothing really new to report. Still have that initial level right here at that $50 mark. And then if $50 can't quite hold up, key level to watch would then be up here at that purple line right there. 50-period moving average right now valued a little over $51. But like I said, nice double bottom bounce off of this key support. Let's see if that can carry into next week and continue on with some more upside buying pressure. Next one here, YYAI, and let's just knock out the first key area of resistance. Maybe it's already stood out to you, but yes, right here, that purple line, 50-period moving average, smack the price back down there. And once again today, smack the price back down. So that doesn't mean that the price will always get smacked back down, but it has made it very apparent that that is certainly going to be the big battleground next week, where if there is going to be any sort of bigger moves in the upwards direction, all eyes on that purple line there, 50-period moving average, currently valued at 0.133. In terms of areas of support, no need to overcomplicate this. Really just a question of where did the price find some buyers today and then get the bounce. And that was right down there at 0.111. And you can see that that area did a very good job. Basically, 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, yeah, four instances in a row the bears tried to press through, could not do it, and then that's where the bulls came showing up and pushing the price back upwards. So if this movement down continues, and yeah, 0.111 going to definitely be a very important area of support. Next one here, BBAI. The pullback continues. Once again, this thing continues to put in the lower highs and the lower lows. But to be fair, the price, at least today, has started to go sideways. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because something starts to go sideways does not mean for sure guaranteed this thing's getting ready to head back up. But my point is it at least a valid question to throw out there? Absolutely. If the price was still just dropping straight down and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom, you'd be totally justified to say, well, what are you talking about? The price is just dropping. But that's not the case here. The price is at least going sideways. Again, is that a guaranteed bottom? Absolutely not. But is it at least worth throwing out there as a question? Absolutely. And yeah, that was a terrible color to choose on the black background. But so keep an eye on that. And if this bounce is going to continue on up, then has been the case with a lot of these. Keep an eye on that pink line right there, that 200 period moving average. You can see it's already acted as resistance a couple times there, and the current value of that right there at $7.50. As far as supports are concerned, no need to overcomplicate that. Just ask the very basic question, where did the bleeding stop today? And that was right down there around $7.10. But yes, got some sideways movement, got some upwards movement here into the close. Does this momentum carry into Friday? Grab your popcorn and we'll see what happens. Next one here, TSLA, Tesla, and talk about popcorn. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of these levels because the main dynamic here that I think you got to think everybody's watching and wondering about is this area right here at basically $440.80, give or take a little bit. You can see right here, price, whoops, let's try that again. Price came a little bit above it. Right there, price didn't quite hit it. Right there, a couple in a row, price did hit it. Right there, price got, generally speaking, the same area. Right there, got smacked right back down by it. Right there, almost hit it. Right here, barely above it. So hopefully you get the idea here that, yes, everybody and their brother's uncle is probably going to be watching 440.80 going into next week. And that's really the big question mark, I think, on my mind and a lot of other people's mind is from the technical standpoint, can the price not necessarily break above it? Because as I pointed out, both there was a fake break, here's a fake break. So not necessarily get above that level, but actually stay above it if the price can get above there. So 440.80, like I said, I think by far is going to be the most watched level next week. Yeah, you have this area of support down here. I think a little bit more relevant area of a support standpoint would now be this overall trend line right here. So let's change that to green and make it look a little bit different to help it stand out. So there we go. We have this overarching trend line right here. And then we have, like I said, the main dynamic, the popcorn level, we'll call it. So yeah, grab your popcorn and let's see, can the Tesla bulls not necessarily break above that level, but break above it and then stay above it and then maybe push even higher above it. So we'll see what happens. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you are sick and tired of the pattern day trend rule, or maybe you're just looking for a market where you have very little risk, but a whole lot of upside potential, then definitely swing by the live stream and see what I've been doing. Watch it with your very own eyes. Ask me questions because like I mentioned earlier, I do understand all this can sound a little too good to be true. What's the catch? And like I said, it's what I've been doing. I absolutely love it. So I definitely encourage you to check it out, especially if you're somebody that is trapped under that pattern day trading rule. So swing by the live stream and like I said, ask me questions. So thanks for hanging out. As always, hit that like button, enjoy your weekends, and hopefully I'll see you on the live stream.